big mistake!
Go back one and down to 10.
No, now he's cornering.
It has been an absolutely astonishing season.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Formula SimRacing ACE Championship of 2018. We are here for round 4 of the championship, driving around the circuit of Gilles Villeneuve in Canada, in Montreal. My name is Felix van Delft and I am joined today by Cameron Rodger. Welcome, Cameron.
Hello everyone, and yeah, it's going to be a great race today if it is anything like the pro race we had a bit earlier. It's a very nice track, very fast track. There isn't really much slow speed, it's all sort of medium speed apart from the hairpins, so it's a nice track to battle on, and hopefully we get a good race today.
Yeah, hopefully we do indeed. Qualifying has been started for 4 minutes now, almost. And the drivers have been able to set already 1 lap, and some are already driving their 2nd lap of the day. Reminder for everyone that's new watching, all drivers will have 4 attempts, 12 laps total, so that means 1 in lap, 1 qualifying lap and 1 out lap. In this qualifying session itself is 20 minutes long. But at the moment, it is Davide Ciappini from Pescara at the top of the leaderboard. And he has done a 1 minute 10.196. Nice lap time from him. But if it's gonna be the pole in the end, that is the question. Pole lap time for the Pro division earlier today was a 1 minute 0.9, I believe. So yep. It is expected that the better drivers that are in ACE should be able to beat that lap time. But of course, we don't know. That's all to see. Victor Ivanov is on a lap already. He is just in the 2nd sector. Montreal is a top start circuit, as a lot of people would say. A lot of chicanes, a lot of hairpins, where the car slows down a lot. And then goes very quickly again on the long straight that it has. Victor Ivanov is now down the back straight, about to come to the famous last corner of Canada on the right side, the Wall of Champions. Let's see if somebody ends up in there. Victor Ivanov is about to finish his lap, and it's going to be a 1 minute 10.5, 4th position provisionally for him. So that is a good job. Jordi Lopez about to finish his lap too. Let's see what he can do. Not an improvement for him. So he is gonna have to try once again. Now let's see who else is on the lap. I believe Robin Panzer is on an out lap. Giuseppe Laino, Giordano Valeriano and Cheyenne Nayam all on the lap.
Yeah, Valeriano is the championship leader coming into this race, and he is just about to finish his 2nd lap of the day. He goes a 10.5 up to 5th place, but after the first couple of races of the season where he was fairly dominant, especially last time out as well, he wasn't quite so dominant, so maybe other people have caught up to what he's doing, but yeah, that puts him into 5th place, so still not a bad time. But as we said earlier, there were a couple of people in the 9s in Pro, a lot of people in the low 10s, so I would expect there to be some more 10ths coming out these lap times, because all drivers in Pro and ACE run on the same real road, and similar amount of drivers, so we should see some 9s by the end of the session.
Yes, indeed. Now, Danny Van Den Niet just finished his lap time, and his lap time is a 10.4, which puts him in 3rd place provisionally. I'm on board with Jeffrey Fournier at the moment, Frenchman driving for Omilia GP.
Debut this season.
Yes, it is indeed. He drove in Pro last season, if I am correct. It's some nice results there, and he's been driving in other series as well. Let's see how he copes with the pressure of the ACE Championship here.
Yeah, so he's a race winner in Pro last year. He won, I think it was the Malaysian Grand Prix. He had quite a few nice results, but he only did about half the season. And he's a Super League race winner as well this season, so let's see what he can do in ACE this year with his first time out with his new team, Oromia.
World champion a bit there on the exit. But indeed, some good results has been shown from him. So
oh, P2.
P2.
Not bad. Oh, Panzer just beat that by 1/10 of a second, so Panzer now second with a 10.2.
Yeah, ACR, of course, have been very strong in the Pro and ACE Championship. Didn't have the best results in the races, but seem to always be on top in qualifying. Now Luke McGuire, bit of oversteer on the exit of the second chicane. Now let's see what he can do coming into the third one. Sector 2 has begun. A lot of oversteer on his car, it seems. A lot of aggressive driving, heartbreaking for the hairpin. Steers in full lock. On the power he goes again. His sectors aren't the best, but it could be an improvement over the time of Jeffrey Fournier if he has a good last sector. Last corner is crucial. Ooh, oversteer, nope, that's his lap gone. And definitely not going to be happy with himself there.
Yeah, that final corner is a very tricky one because you've just done your lap, you're thinking you're good, you're green on your sectors, and then you have this one final chicane that you generally bin. But yeah, Tom van Egmond just gone pole, a 10.1 for the flag-to-flag driver.
Wow.
Nice lap from him.
What a lap.
That is a good performance considering where he's been on the grid this season, sort of lower parts of the top 10. But yeah, 10.1. Nice lap from him, taking provisional pole after 2 laps. The most drivers completed 2 laps here, half the session gone. As Felix said earlier, they only get really 4 flying laps. So you need to manage your laps wisely, because if you use them too quickly, the real road will get quicker, and people will improve at the end. So you need to leave that last lap for dash at the end.
Alright, so now we just need to wait and see who's going to improve that. If somebody is going to improve that, I should say. Now Jordi Lopez is about to start his flying lap, just in and out lap. All the people on the lap at the moment are Arif Roslan and I think Danny van den Noot, but I'm not entirely sure about that. Okay, cool. Anyway, Jordi Lopez in the first sector. It's a tricky bit of the circuit. If you take the curbs a bit too much, it's easy to spin the car around. Especially in qualifying, you see you're already taking quite a lot of curb on the right side there of that chicane, which can unsettle the car a bit too much. And like I said, in this qualifying mode, the car is really tricky. It's got about 50 to 70 brake horsepower more on the rear tires compared to the race, so it's really quite powerful and more difficult to handle. There we see having a bit of oversteer coming out of the hairpin. His first sector was not the best, not good at all, by the way. It's gonna be second sector and third sector where he's gonna have to gain some time.
Oh, Danny van der Neet just gone second as we were watching that. Good lap from the Netrex driver, half a tenth off. Now Jordi Lopez crosses the line, doesn't improve. Yeah, first 4 drivers covered by just over half a tenth, so very close lap times here, and even down to 7th place is only about a quarter of a second. Oh, who was that? Valeriano just gone second. Valeriano has just gone second on a 10.1. He's got another lap left in him, 7 minutes to go, while Ton has 2 laps, currently on provisional pole.
Pansar just exited the first sector. He is about to finish the second sector as well. 19.8 in the first sector, not the best time, not the worst at all. Now his second sector, what is it going to be? It's going to be quite important, entering the hairpin. Lifetiming a bit slow at the moment, 23.134. Okay, should be enough to improve a position for him. And now last corner is going to be crucial. It's so incredibly close at the moment, so every tenth you can gain is going to be crucial. Now what is it going to be coming over the line? Robin Panzer goes on pole position with an incredible last sector, 27.177. Had an incredible last corner there, and managed to put himself on provisional pole position with only 5 minutes to go in this session.
Yeah, and he only has 1 lap left when Tom van Egmond in second has 2 laps left. He's just coming to start his penultimate lap. Should have enough time to finish this and get another one in.
Yeah, Luke Maguire is also on the lap, by the way.
Yes, Maguire seems to be an odd one out, getting past some traffic there, coming into the hairpin. Running tiny bit wide, but gets a fairly okay exit. His middle sector, well, is actually pretty good, 23.0. However, the times are very close. He's going to need to get a few, well, at least half a tenth to make some sort of improvement. Coming through the final chicane, all nails that curve, hits the wall on the outside. Now he comes to the line. What can Luke Maguire do? It was P1. Wow, 2 tenths. Wow, that was a mental last sector. He was looking sort of okay up to that point, but that was awesome. I need to go watch a replay of that chicane.
Yeah, hit the wall there, but managed to keep the car in a good shape. And Tom van Egmond abandoned his lap, made a mistake coming into the second chicane, and decided to abandon the lap. But indeed, the ACR guy is proving to be very quick once again, almost 2 tenths quicker than Tom van Egmond, just over 2 tenths quicker than Tom van Egmond. However, still nice to see a flag-to-flag car on the top, flag-to-flag. Of course, Cameron is the team boss, but if I'm honest, haven't been doing as good as they had last year. Of course, last year they had 2 drivers at the top of the field in ACE. And at the moment, it's mainly ACR and Musto Racing.
Yeah, ACR and Musto have had a very good start to the season, has to be said, but as you can see, Ton here is putting in the work.
He's doing a good job. Now Lucas Schmidt is about to finish his lap. Let's see what he can do. He's coming through the last corner right now. Let's see what it is. Bit of wheel spin on the exit. First 2 sectors, or first sector was good, second sector not so, and it is not an improvement, I believe. It is an improvement of time, but not an improvement of place. So he's gonna have to try again. Does he have a try left? Yes, he's got 1 try left.
And Luke Maguire's used all his laps, so all he can do is sit here and watch these people go out for the last laps. When pretty much everyone else has a lap left, apart from him and Victor Ivanov and Georgie Lopez. So yeah, everyone's going to be coming out in a second, try and be the last man alive to start their lap. But yeah, I had a look. Luke Maguire, he did that last chicane perfectly, completely within track limits. He just used the anti-cuts perfectly. Really good last sector, because his middle sectors weren't looking, overly amazing. In fact, even in his middle sector, he hasn't got the fastest time. Robin Panzer has, so Panzer's got some time to make up in the first couple of sectors. Yeah, seems people are coming out now. Valeriano's just starting his final lap, his last chance to get near pole position today. So is Chiappini behind him. Let's see what they do.
Valeriano in the first sector at the moment. It's the curb on the left side of the first chicane a little bit. Not too bad though. This exit is going to be important. First sector for Valeriano is it's a good question. Lifetiming a bit slow at the moment. So excuse me, but I don't know, to be honest. But it seems like a clean lap for him, but clean isn't always the quickest. You've seen Luke Maguire, his lap wasn't really that clean, but he seems to be in pole position for now. Now, the second sector, I did get 23.154 for Valeriano. Not the best, but not the worst either. Last corner seems like a good one. Not as aggressive as Maguire, but over the line he comes. And it is not an improvement for Giordano Valeriano. And he has got to take with 4th place or lower if somebody improves.
And Chiappini didn't improve either, so both of them are done with their laps for now. We have Panzer, Van Egmond, Van den Niet, Fournier, Schmidt all starting their laps now. So here we go for the last lap. So Schmidt coming into turn 1, slightly missed the apex, makes turn 2 a little bit tighter. Doesn't always hinder you overly though. Now coming up to turn 3 and 4, takes it in 4th gear again, misses that apex, he's gone wide, just slightly tapped the wall, didn't get over that first curb in turn 3. Coming down into turn 6, kept it nice and tight to open up turn 7, bit squirrely on the exit, and always come right over to the inside to get the shortest line down into the 3rd chicane under the bridge. Takes that pretty nicely, going over the anti-cuts. Barely any sort of wiggling about or anything so far.
In the meantime, Don van Egmond has done a very nice first sector. Same goes for Danny van der Niet, so we're gonna have to keep an eye out on them.
Whoa, Van der Niet absolutely monstered that curve in turn 8. All over the inside front, jumping up into the air. See if that affects what his time is.
Now Schmid will be the first one to come over the line, sideways through the last corner. Not sure if that's going to help.
Yeah, so Ton right behind him. Is he going to improve? No, he doesn't. So that is Ton finished on a 10.1.
Second sector not good for Van der Niet. So it's going to be the last corner that decides it for him. Coming to the line. What is it going to be for Van der Niet? It's going to be
improved. P4. Only a couple of hundredths improvement, but because it's so tight, he gained it, and Harris Parvez backs out of his lap. David Junt, last person on track in P23. In the new Torrent Motorsport car, drillers have been taken over by Torrent Motorsport, so this is a new car, new livery, same drivers, however. David Junt coming to the line, can he improve? Yes, he can. P21 on 11.844. But that is your grid for today's Canadian Grand Prix. We have Luke Maguire on pole with that wonderful lap, some 2 tenths ahead of his teammate Robin Panzer, and just ahead of Ton van Egmond. But that is how we line up.
Yeah, it's a nice lineup for this race, and the drivers will go into a warm-up session now. So we will have a short break, so everybody can get ready for the race that's going to happen. 53 laps here around the Montreal circuit. In Pro, we've seen an incredibly exciting race once again. A battle for the lead in the last couple of laps, which was incredible. So make sure to stay tuned, grab a cup of water, grab some coffee perhaps, and we will be back in about 4 minutes.
Do you want a more immersive experience? Thrustmaster T150 force feedback racing wheel. Official PS3 and PS4 licenses, and also PC compatible. Rubber coated wheel grips. 1080 degrees of rotation. Adjustable force feedback. Large metal sequential pad. Optimized ergonomic design. Mixed belt, pulley, and gears system. Thrustmaster. Enter into the real driving world. Do you want a more immersive experience? Thrustmaster.
Keep it up.
Whoa, great!
big mistake! Go back to Ashley and down to 10. It has been an absolutely astonishing season.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting ready for the race here for the ACE Championship at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Of course, the track, which is a very beautiful track. It's been used in FSR, I think, for a very long time. 4.361 kilometers, and we will be driving here for 53 laps. Of course, a bit shorter than normal GP length, but if you want to see this a race in FSR with a full GP length, you should go and check out the World Championship race later tonight, which will be held in of which the qualifying will start in roughly 2.5 hours from now at 17:30 GMT. So make sure to write that down in your agendas and watch that race too. Now though, we're gonna focus on the ACE Championship. Let's see what the drivers have been doing in warm-up. Now it seems that it's been Manuel or Luke Maguire quickest in warm-up with a 14.1. I always say take warm-up with a bit of a grain of salt, because we don't know what type of lap they did. Did they push on it? Did they use boost? Maybe they used a lot of fuel. Funny thing to note, Luke Maguire and Danny van der Niet put down the exact same lap time. Danny van der Niet a 1 minute 14.141 and Luke Maguire a 1 minute 14.141. Quite nice to see that it is so close already in the warm-up session. Only to see what is going to happen in the race. Tire strategy. We've seen in Pro the top drivers do a 2-stop, and we've also seen some 3 stops. So perhaps a 3-stop can work here. But it seems if we can take that from Pro, that the 2-stop strategy is a bit quicker. Tires that we have here, or that the drivers have here, are the Ultra Soft, the Super Soft, soft tire. And obviously the top 10 is gonna have to start with the softest tire. If you got the tire they qualified on, the Ultra Soft. I think everybody qualified on the Ultra Soft, so that is something we don't have to worry about. But of course, it's gonna be tight in the first lap, so maybe some people that are further down the top 10 gain some places and have the tire advantage, or the tire strategy advantage, not the tire advantage itself, because they will have harder tires, but obviously they will have a advantage in the strategy department. Anyway, warm-up is almost over now. The drivers should be ready to start this race. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask them in the chat. We will try to keep up with that and answer any questions if there are questions. And if the drivers allow, of course, maybe they will be fighting for 53 laps straight, and we won't have any time to look at that yet. Now, warm-up over, 0.0. Last couple of laps being done by the drivers. Capini ends up being quickest in warm-up, 113.821, 48 thousandths of a second quicker than Lucas Schmidt, who in turn was 0.2 quicker than David Rodger, both from ACR. So ACR once again looking strong. We've seen them looking strong for a few races now. but they never really were able to deliver full time on the in the race itself. Luke Maguire has had some connection issues, had an unfortunate incident in Australia, which lost him a possible win. Now let's hope everything goes right for him today. Championship standing, let's go through that really quickly. Giordano Valeriano is leading the championship. Then it is Lucas Schmidt, Davide Ciappini, Harris Parves, David Mrocek, Danny van der Niet, Luke Maguire, Thomas Sedderly, Pedro Gomez, and Jiri Sidovatsky rounding up the top 10. Tom van Egmond down in 11th. He will be starting from 3rd place here today, so possibly he will be able to increase his points and get into the top 10 in ACE. Now we're just waiting for the race director to finish up setting the grid. Well, once he has done that, we will be able to get into the race session. Alright, so the grid has been set. The drivers will be lining up on it to start their formation lap soon. And let's see what this race is going to bring us. Now all drivers have been lined up, only waiting for Peter Schultz. No, he is starting from the pit lane, so the drivers are rolling off their grid slots, starting the formation lap of this race. And Cameron, are you here?
Yes.
All right.
I'm here. After a long editing of the grid, there are quite a few penalties today. But yeah, I'll take you through the grid for today's race. So on pole, we have Luke Maguire with an amazing lap, followed by Ton van Egmond because Robin Panzer had a grid penalty, followed by Danny van der Niet and Giordano Valeriano, who's our championship leader. David Ciappini and Jeffrey Fournier make the third row, Fournier on his debut this season. Fourth row is Victor Ivanov and David Mrocek. Then we have Lino and Martini, Harley Hamnet and Robin Panzer down in P12 after his penalty. We have Jordi Lopez in P13. Peter Schultz should be 14th, but he is starting from the pit lane. Pedro Gomez is in 15th, followed by Harris Parves, who also had a grid penalty. We have Yuri Derivatsky in 17th place, with Arif Roslan and David Junt. Then Kevin Morville rounding out the top 20. Shayan Najam in 21 after a grid penalty. Martin Brunansky, Chris Oshkoa, who also had a penalty, and Lucas Schmidt, who took a back of the grid for a quali cut. Then George Chatsipantelis in P25, also starting from the pits. So a very different looking grid to how we saw it in qualifying, but nevertheless it was going to be an awesome race today with a couple of fast people lower down. Luke Maguire is already at the almost at the start line when Lucas Schmidt's barely out of the hairpin, so Luke will be waiting there for quite a long time. It's a very short run down into turn 1, but as we saw in the pro race, there's plenty of opportunity to overtake.
Alright, so people lining up on their grid slots. Luke Maguire pointed aggressively to the inside, trying to prevent Ton van Egmond to cut across right away, or to have a better start. So Luke Maguire is going to try to cut across to block him off. Anyway, last drivers lining up, the drivers in the pit lane also getting ready to start this race. Lights are coming on. We have got 5 lights And the ACE Championship race is underway. It's been a good start for Ton van Egmond, trying to get up alongside already. The rest of the field away nicely as well. However, Luke Maguire manages to keep Ton off just for now. Now, is Ton gonna be able to take a move or make a move on Luke Maguire in the rest of this lap? We're gonna have to see. The rest of the field seems to be away nice and cleanly. A couple of positions down the back lost.
Oh yes, Harley Hamnet spun and collected a couple of drivers. We have Jordi Lopez and Manuel Martini out. Harley Hamnet's got some big damage as well down the back. So yeah, unfortunate start for those drivers. It just got a bit tight. I think Harley Hamnet lost a rear of some wheel spin as well. 2 drivers are out, front wings. Kevin Morville as well. Yeah, back to the front, we've got drivers still very close in the top 10. All the way down to Pedro Gomez in P10, then there's a bit of a gap down to Robin Panzar in P11. And is that Haris Parvez without a front wing? No, is that Panzar and Haris?
The driver spun around in the chicane. I think that's Cheyenne Nayan. Now Jeffrey Fournier, he's trying to make a look up to the inside of the chicane. Didn't make the move eventually. Probably a good idea as he wasn't really alongside.
Oh yeah, wow. Yeah, in the back there's a lot of battling going. Haris Parvez and Robin Panzar both lost their front wings somewhere in the melee of turn 1. And Kevin Morville and Arif Roslan as well lost their front wings. So a lot of people were out front wing on this first lap. They are all in the pit lane, unfortunately for them. I assume taking the soft tyres and running long to the middle of the race. But yeah, that all started from Harley Hamnet really. Unless there was a second incident that we missed. Yeah, Ton van Egmond not letting Luke Maguire get away too far. About 8 tenths between them at this moment. At this moment in time.
Yeah, you can see Ton on board here. DRS won't open just yet. Next lap it will, so Luke Maguire is gonna have to try and keep Ton from staying in this 1 second gap that he has at the moment, because the DRS will open next lap and Ton will have some more top speed down the main straight. Top speed of these drivers at the moment seems that Luke Maguire has a little bit less top speed compared to Ton van Egmond. Ton van Egmond, his quickest top speed at the moment was a 315 kph and Luke Maguire only did 309. So down the straights Luke is gonna have to watch out for Ton.
And also this track only has 1 detection zone coming out of the chicane under the bridge. You'll see there's a sign. Oh, actually Ton might even think about getting him down into turn 8. Maybe using some engine mixture on the outside. That is going to be very tight to try and go around the outside. Yes, he backs out of it. There, here you can just see there's the detection boards right there, and that is the only detection zone. So if you don't pass into the last chicane, you get another shot down into turn number 1. But obviously if you pass into the last chicane, then you can stay ahead into turn 1. And oh, David Junt is out. David Junt is out. He has suspension damage, so yes, he lost it on the exit of turn 7 all by himself. Sadly for him. That's 3 retirements so far.
Ton wasn't able to get past Luke in down the main straight. Luke probably using his engine mixtures to try and keep some top speed on the main straight. Last time he did a 1 minute 14.5, so the pace is there. However, Danny van der Niet, last lap 1:14.023, so Danny van der Niet is flying and he is putting pressure on to Giordano Valeriano together with David Chapini. So if Danny doesn't watch out, he's gonna have to defend from the Pescara driver.
It seems Valeriano can't quite stay with Ton at this moment. That is arguably a little train starting to form behind. Gonna be a nice slipstream battle all the way down into the chicane. Hopefully Valeriano is using his fuel wisely. He can possibly save a little bit and then get some higher top speed. But Danny van der Niet is going to be quite close, although it seems Valeriano is using some mixtures because he was slightly pulling away there. In the beginning of the straight, yeah, he's too far back to have a look. And Ton van Egmond He's dropped back a little bit, a couple of tenths from Luke Maguire compared to when we last saw him. Yeah, it definitely seems Van der Niet is saving some fuel here, not really going for the overtake at this moment.
Yeah, he is looking down the gearbox of Danny Van der Niet now as well. Valeriano trying his hardest to keep these two drivers behind, but they are both hungry for more points and for a podium place. So he has definitely got to watch out. Just behind that as well, Viktor Ivanov and David Rodger are catching up to this battle. And here we go. David Chapini is gonna have to defend from Danny Van der Niet down the hairpin. I'm not sure who's gonna have the DRS. Let's see, coming to the DRS line now.
Yeah, they may both have DRS because obviously
yeah, they do.
Valeriano's only just ahead. Yeah, they're going to be coming again side by side down into the chicane. Can Danny hold it? No, he can't. Wow, good stuff by Chiappini getting around the outside there into the final chicane. So he is now defending from Danny Van der Niet into turn 1, but Danny could not get past, and Ivanov stayed ahead of Mrocek, who was actually quite close there as well.
Van Egmond is getting closer as well. Gap down to 4 tenths. 6 laps into the race. Tires are starting to wear a little bit. Drivers that push them too hard will definitely start to struggle, perhaps on the rear as well. Luke Maguire isn't known as somebody that is really soft on his tires. So perhaps he's already starting to struggle. And if Tom manages to keep those tires alive just a little bit longer, he might be able to make the move in 1 or 2 laps. Or perhaps this lap already if he gets a good tow down the back straight. Now let's see, he's a bit too far back to do it down the back straight. Perhaps if he has a nice exit out of the last corner, he can do it into turn 1. Misses the inside apex of the chicane a little bit. Doesn't really gain much.
There's contact in the final corner. David Mrocek was going for an overtake on Viktor Ivanov, but obviously side by side in the final chicane doesn't really work, and Viktor was weaving a little bit down the straights to say, "What are you doing?" Yeah, that's just a bit tight, really. I think that there should have been room for 2 cars, but you still can't really go side by side in that final chicane. But yeah, they seem to be in the same position.
Oh, Peter Schultz and
yes.
Martin Buransky, sorry if I mispronounced your name, had some sort of incident. Let's see on the replay if I can find what happened there.
Oh yes, very similar to the Viktor Ivanov incident, just a bit more contact, and both of them, well actually Peter couldn't quite make it around the corner because of the second apex even, because of the tighter line, and that pushed Bruninsky into the barrier, and he had to cut across the pit line to get into the pit.
He is off with the new front wing. Now Chiappini is getting close to Valeriano already. Perhaps Chiappini able to take second place already the next lap. Van Egmond still close to Luke Maguire as well. And Viktor Ivanov is about to make a move there side by side through turn 1. David Mrocek now has to try once again, but Viktor definitely defending hard for his 6th position at the moment.
I think the mindset of the drivers that they have at the moment really depends on what strategy they're going for. If they're going for a 3-stop, then I think they'd be pushing a lot more, but we'll have to see what lap they pit, obviously. Because when you start getting towards lap 10, that's when the ultra softs start to really hurt. If you two stopping, because you've got to really pull them. But Chiappini now going past Valeriano down the back straight. Yeah, Valeriano just letting him go there, stay on his line, nothing to do there. But Yeah, I think there's a lot of drivers saving fuel right now in DRS, not really going for an overtake as such. Maybe saving for later in the race, because fuel is, well, it's not really that tight here, but as always you want to save as much fuel for the correct moment to overtake. Drivers have 7 fuel mixtures that they can use within the race. Obviously, depending on what mode you're in, depends how much fuel you use per lap, but obviously you're gaining a bit of performance for that as well. So it's all about balancing when you use the fuel and when you sort of hold back a little bit, because obviously staying in the slipstream, you actually save a bit of fuel because of less drag.
Yep, Luke McGuire a bit sideways on the exit of the third chicane. Van Egmond closing in, down to 4/10 now. Let's see, he's really close on the exit of the hairpin. Perhaps with some slipstream he can make a move. However, Luke will be using his fuel to try and defend as hard as possible.
Looking at Luke's top speed, yeah, I think he's using a slightly higher fuel mixture, but he's probably saving it. Oh, he's hit the wall! Ooh. Luke McGuire's hit the wall on the exit of the final corner. This is going to give Ton an opportunity, but it's a bit too far back for this lap, but that is closed him up another couple of tenths that he may need coming out of that chicane.
Does Luke McGuire have any suspension damage from that hit with the wall?
I can't really tell through this section, it's a bit twisty. Might have a tiny bit actually. We'll see when he gets to straight.
Not too much though.
Yeah, suspension damage. Oh, ooh, wow, big slide. Yes, big. Ton should be able to get him here very tight. Yes, yes, he's just gotten down into turn 8 underneath the bridge. Oh, Luke's going to hold around the outside though. That is, wow, that is, he did not want to give that up. And bit of contact again, but Ton has got that position just. And Luke, will Luke try to get into the hairpin? No, he's going to keep it. Let's see how they line up coming out of this corner. So yeah, Luke, no, I don't think actually has much suspension damage, but he is going to be flying past Ton here with the DRS. Nothing Ton can do there apart from wait till another opportunity. But yeah, Luke McGuire definitely showing he is either pushing a lot to stay in the lead, or his tyres are starting to get to that point where they're not quite giving him the grip that he wants.
Yeah, indeed, hitting the wall twice in one lap is definitely not gonna be the best you want to do in a race. There's still 42 laps remaining after this one, so let's see what he can do in the rest of this race. Now Danny van der Niet close to Valeriano once again, but not really close enough to make a move just yet. Now Tom is closing in. He is closing in, but is it going to be enough to make a move down the back straight?
Yeah, these two are certainly pushing hard, but Chiappini has actually caught up to them now. There was a few seconds gap, and Valeriano and Danny van der Niet also have closed up a bit. The gap was towards 4 seconds, and now top 5 are within 4 seconds of each other, so yeah, they're getting very close
into
here.
the pit lane.
Oh, he must be 3-stopping. Pitting that
very
soon.
Very close on the pit exit or the pit entry line there. So let's see what tire he goes to. He goes to the soft tire, so most presumably a 2-stop for Ton van Egmond.
Yes, if he is using the soft tires, then yes, he can definitely 2-stop go. Possibly soft, maybe soft, super soft at the end, depending on how he can last those tires. Yeah, Luke McGuire must, if he's well planning not to stay out and not use the soft tires, I think he's going to have to pit this lap.
Yeah,
because if Ton
traffic though, so it's not going to be easy to try and make the undercut work if this traffic doesn't get out of his way quickly.
Yeah,
now let's see what McGuire is going to do.
Yeah, Chiappini's caught up, I think, about over half a second in the last lap, so Luke McGuire is definitely struggling a bit here. Yeah, he's got a tiny bit of suspension damage. His car's slightly going to the left, but is he pitting? Yes, he is. Who is following him? Danny van der Niet. And is that it? Yes, so just Danny and Luke into the pits at this moment in time. Luke is taking the super soft tyres. Okay, Luke is taking the super softs. He's potentially opening himself up to a 3-stop there. Danny takes the softs. Where is Ton van Egmond? Ton is coming down. He's behind on the Pescara cars. That is Giuseppe Lino. Where is Luke Maguire? Yeah, so Ton is miles ahead of Luke Maguire.
Yeah.
He is 2-3 seconds up the road. That was a good decision by Ton.
Gotta get past Giuseppe Liano first, though.
And Schmidt. Oh, hello, yes. Lino loses the rear end here.
Out of the first chicane.
Yeah, I was just going to say that Schmidt is actually in between Van Egmond and Maguire, but now Lino is there as well. Schmidt, I think, had to pit at the end of lap 1. So I'm not sure whether he's going to be letting Maguire pass, but I think Maguire's quicker anyway. Oh no, he's hit the wall again! Luke is he's really sliding on these exits. And he's very close to his teammate here. Very close.
No,
So Schmidt might be looking to get past Lino here, which I think he is. Maguire. Is Maguire going to look again? Both of them. That'll be a ballsy move if he goes for this. Can he get both of them? No, he pulls out of his teammate. His teammate's pitting anyway. Same with Jeff Fournier. Pitting. Yeah, Ton van Egmond now has quite a big lead, about 4 seconds to Luke Maguire, which is the net lead of the race. And we have Fournier, Lino and Schmidt into the pit lane, Schmidt onto the supers, Lino onto the soft and Fournier onto the soft as well.
Rapini and Valerian are both still staying out, trying to make the different strategy work perhaps. Ooh, Chapini a bit of oversteer on the entry of the first chicane of the second sector. That's not going to help him. It's not going to help him. Now let's see what they do. 14 laps into this race. Are they going to pit or are they going to stay out for another one?
I think if they stay out a few more laps, they can probably get away with without using the soft tyres, which would be quite beneficial. Because the soft tyres are a bit lower, a bit slower, I mean. So if you can try and maybe do a ultra soft, super soft, super soft, or ultra soft, super soft, ultra soft, if you're brave, then that would be a lot more beneficial. Although Ton can now push a lot on these laps because the softs are quite durable. So Viktor Ivanov in the pit lane on the soft tyres, Mrocek in the pit lane on the super soft. Maybe that is showing that ACR's strategy is slightly different to that of Netrex. We've both gone with the soft, for instance. Yeah, these ultra soft tyres can probably last up to maybe 16 laps without being stupidly slow, but Ton has caught a second in the last lap. So to make this work, they're going to need to be not much slower than that.
Further down the back, Giuseppe Lino rejoined right behind Peter Schultz. Peter is on the soft tyre. He's been on those for 15 laps. He hasn't pitted yet. And Giuseppe is on the soft tyre as well. But he just pitted, so...
2 leaders pit.
Yeah.
2 leaders pit.
Alright, so the leaders into the pit lane.
Yeah, the tyre that they choose here is pretty crucial. Because if they go to the super softs, then that is very aggressive. So Chipin takes the softs and Valeriano takes the soft. Okay. They've stayed out a few laps longer. Can they get Luke Maguire? That is the next question. It is going to be quite tight. Chiappini has got Luke Maguire. Valeriano is
behind as well, yeah.
Just ahead of Van den Eek, but behind Luke Maguire. So Maguire is on the super soft tyre, so he really needs to start using these tyres because he's actually lost time to Ton van Egmond as well.
Yeah, Tom quicker than Maguire at the moment, and Maguire is on the softer tyre, so
Yeah,
either
on the
Maguire
13.
is saving his tyres, or he's just slow.
Yeah, the thing's Ton pit with 43 laps to go, so yeah, Ton can definitely go double soft if he really wants to push, which I think is what he's doing right now. But Luke Maguire is going to be very close to Chiappini. Yes, wow, he brakes brakes very late, almost runs into the back of Chiappini. Doesn't get a good exit though, however. But someone who did get good, so it was Danny van der Neet. However, Valeriano looks like he's using his fuel, just pulling away there. Van der Neet not quite close enough. Oh, and who's that? Chiappini's pit. Oh, Chiappini pit. He must have sped in the pit lane. He must have sped in the pit lane and got a penalty.
Find out. Yes, he did speed in the pit lane.
Oh, he's changing tyres again though.
Let's take a look at the...
That is interesting.
Take a look at his pit entry of his lap where he got the penalty.
Oh, he's got stop go. Yeah, he's sat for ages.
So this is his entry. This is a replay, not live. Indeed, very late on the brakes and went too quick into that pit lane. And that lost him perhaps a podium position here.
Yeah, that's a shame for him because that was a nice P2 sitting there for him. But yeah, Luke Maguire now has caught up a little bit. Tom van Egmond had a slightly slow lap last lap. This performance for Tom is going really well so far.
Really well so far. Lucas Schmidt is catching up to Pedro Gomez at the moment. Both have pitted, so either there's going to be team orders or these guys will be battling.
Oh, Tom missed the final chicane. Tom missed the final chicane, I think. Just saw that in the distance. Just quickly checking the replay now. Yes, he missed the chicane.
For the replay.
Lost about a second and a bit to Luke Maguire, so maybe this is Tom showing his newness, if that's the word, to being at the front, but he has still got the lead. He's still got a few seconds gap.
Now let's take a look at that replay of the chicane. On board with Tom van Egmond. Did he brake too late? Yeah, he just broke too late, missed the chicane. Has to go around the cones and rejoin the track.
If Luke Maguire is pre-stopping, he needs to start trying to close this gap down even more. He can definitely sense some blood right here with Tom van Egmond. Can Tom get through the final chicane this lap? Yes, he does. So it was just a mistake last time.
So yeah, at the moment there are not a lot of cars that are really close to each other. Christoph's score is closing into George Shatsipantelis. Those two drivers are sister teammates, so perhaps they will be battling, perhaps they will take it a bit easy on each other. Gonna have to see. Christoph really hasn't had the best season so far.
No, he hasn't. Yeah, he's had quite a few issues. For various reasons with penalties or allocations, etc. A shame. He's definitely a top 10 driver. In fact, he almost won, was it Singapore last year, I think it was? Yep. He almost won that race when he was battling with the two Netrex drivers, if I remember. So he's definitely got some good pace in this field. Just unfortunately, he had a penalty, I think it was a start from, no, 15 place penalty or something like that he had today from last time out. And Luke Maguire now is within a second and a half. This is the closest he's been to Tom van Egmond since Tom has had the lead.
Yeah, times-wise, Tom has lost a bit of pace. 15.0 last lap and a 14.5 for Luke Maguire. But no, I can't see the last lap times before that, so I really don't know what the pace was before that. But seemingly Tom has started to slow down a little bit, perhaps saving his tires. He obviously has the harder compound, so perhaps he was just pushing really hard on those tires for the first couple of laps and is now starting to slow down a bit to make them last. Now David Chiappini and Peter Schultz are also close. Let's take a look at that battle. They're in Sector 1 at the moment, coming into Sector 2. Chiappini seems to be pretty interested to fight Peter. has got a good exit. Peter still on his first set of tires. Yes, he is. Tapini also on the soft, but on way fresher softs, about 14 laps. And an easy move for him down the inside of Peter Schultz. Now Peter is going to try to retake the position in the hairpin and the main, or the back straight, sorry. Let's see what he can do. He will have DRS, will he? Yes, DRS opens. But he's too far back, I think. Yeah. And Giappini also using probably some of his fuel to try and defend from Peter Schultz. Luke Maguire now within a second, almost 4/10 now. Luke Maguire really starting to close in. 13.8 last lap, almost 7/10 quicker than what Tom van Egmond did.
Yeah, I just wonder whether Tom burnt off his tyres in those first few laps, because he was doing 13s. And now he's sort of dropped down into sort of mid-14s, when Luke Maguire's just been doing fairly consistent low 14s the whole time. So maybe Tom just burnt out his tyres. But yeah, Luke Maguire's going to be going for the overtake here, 100% down the inside. Yes, he does. That is the place for Luke Maguire now. He needs to, oh, he hit the wall again, did Luke Maguire on the exit of that last chicane. Ton is going to be going here for a move. Luke defends well and keeps the place. So yeah, Luke now needs to try and make a gap, because I think Tom's going to be doing a fairly easy two-stop here if he takes another set of soft tyres. So Luke needs to make a gap if he's trying this three-stop. Still not sure what strategy he's on. We'll have to see when he makes his second pit stop. Peter Schulze is in the pit lane. First pit stop. Taking the ultra soft tyres. Wow, okay. So he's going for an aggressive strategy in this middle stint. Paris Parvez also in the pit lane. What does he take? He takes the ultra softs as well. So both drivers need to make one more pit stop probably. Peter rejoins back in 12th place, so not too bad considering he started from the pit lane. He is now in 12th place legitimately on strategy, on equal pit stops.
Tom van Egmond looks to be close again, DRS open, but he just doesn't have the pace to be close enough down the main straight. And probably Maguire will be pulling out a bit of a gap. However, his tires, how old are they? 10 laps now. He did 12 laps on the Ultrasoft, so probably we would see him going another 4 laps.
Yeah, Tom definitely isn't giving up this P1 right just now. He is pushing, he's going into turn 8 right now, very close to Luke Maguire still, so he can definitely hold this pace. However, I think he pushed those tyres a bit too much, so he's lost that, just the edge of the tyres that he had. He's probably overheated them a little bit. Oh wow, big crash! Who is that? George Chatzipantelis.
Involved.
Yeah, Chatzipantelis was backwards. Let's have a look.
Take a look at the replay, if we can.
Oh wow, okay, so it was a 3 wide situation going down into the final corner. Bit of contact between Siravatsky and Chatzipantelis, and they both spin. Harris Parvez, luckily no contact, but Chatzipantelis and Siravatsky had to go into the pit lane. Yes, they both changed tyres as well. Siravatsky onto the super soft, Chatzipantelis onto the ultra soft, but I think there was some damage there too. Sorry?
Oh, right. No, I think there's some bug with the tires on screen. I'm seeing ultra softs, but I'm pretty sure Tom didn't pit and rejoined 1 second behind Luke Maguire when Maguire hasn't pit.
Yeah, there's often a glitch like that, unfortunately, sometimes when there are pit stops. Yeah, Tom is definitely on the soft tyres. I mean, still very close to Luke Maguire. However, Luke's tyres, when did he pit? He pit lap 10. So his super softs will be starting to not perform quite as well, but he'll still have a few laps left in them. And he's defending nicely here from Ton. Ton closing up in the final stages of the straight. And Valeriano just overtaking a back marker there as well. Yeah, Ton very close again into turn 1, but no overtake to be made just yet. Looking, oh actually no, Luke just made another mistake. There is Ton going to go for a move? No, he is not. Luke has done a Sebastian Vettel and he has gone wide, and that is the lead back into Ton's hands. Luke will be very frustrated with that. Yeah, he's just wiggled his wheel. He is not in a good mood for that. But I was literally just about to say before that happened that Luke was leading the race in, I think, yeah, it must be in Australia, very comfortably, and unfortunately he, I can't remember what he did now. I think he made a mistake and lost the victory there. But if I'm right in saying, he still actually hasn't won a race in Ace, unfortunately, despite the speed that he has had. And he's now over a second behind Tom van Egmond, so he's not even getting the DRS this lap. So yeah, I think Luke even just needs to calm down a tiny bit and try to get these race wins, because we all know he has the speed. I mean, he's showing it right now. But unfortunately for that mistake, he's let the lead go back to Ton, who'll be absolutely loving this. I think this is the first time Ton has legitimately been in the lead of the race in FSR.
Yep. Gonna take a look at the replay right there. Luke just didn't have the best exit.
Wow, sorry, Luke almost lost it again. Exit turn 5, full opposite lock. That is, yeah, that's not the best, the best way to drive at this moment in time. I think he's going to be pitting soon.
He should be. Tires are done for him, and it just seems like he is wasting his time staying on this set of tires. Just go into the pit lane and grab some new soft or super soft tire and try to go to the end. How many laps is it? Still what is it? 19?
8.
Yeah.
28.
Yeah, 28, sorry.
And will Luke Maguire pit this lap? Let's have a look. No, he's staying out. So he's sticking to his strategy, even though his last couple laps haven't been the best. But it's now almost a 2-second lead to Tom van Egmond. And noticed, who is this? It's Chetsi Pantelis. He is sitting behind Valeriano. He's on the ultra soft tyres, but he hasn't unlapped himself. He's just sitting there. Valeriano is on the soft tyres. The Chetsi Pantelis,
yeah.
I mean, he is allowed to unlap himself as long as he can actually pull away from Valeriano. But I've just noticed the last sort of 3-4 laps he's just been sitting there. Obviously not wanting to get involved, but that is not helping his race, with Arif Roslan not far behind him. And that is the fight for the last points paying position. Points go down to 15th here in the ACE Championship. Chetsi Pantelis again sitting right behind Valeriano.
It doesn't gonna try now, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't look like he is going to even try, so he is going to be sitting there for a couple of laps. Oh wow, Valeriano whacked that curb. Yeah, he's going to be sitting there for a few laps till Valeriano pits, I guess. Let's have a look at the lap time. So yeah, Ton has been mid-14s all the time, when Luke has been very different. He's done low 14s, got to 13s, high 14s, low 13 again. Then he did a 16, 15, now he's back into high 14. So Luke has been very inconsistent here. Is the reason why he's now 3 seconds behind Ton. Wow, 3 seconds. Did he make a mistake in this first sector? Or was that?
Could have, but
is that literally just?
Valeriano, he's gonna almost make an overtake here on Luke.
Yeah, Luke's tyres are done. I just had a look. His what's that, turn 2, he turned in and the rears were just like, nope, nope, not going to follow the line. So I think Luke needs to make a pit stop.
Chetsi Pantelis, really close behind Valeriano, but doesn't seem to want to make the move.
Yeah, I think Luke pulls over to the left, I think, to try and get out slipstream. Valeriano looks like he's using his fuel here because he is very quick. Loads of overspeed, almost 340 kilometers an hour.
Yeah.
Will Luke pit? Oh! Yes, Luke is definitely pitting, whether he wanted to or not. he was going in that pit lane. So he's going to pit. So, how many laps left? He's going to have to make it 2 more. Well, another pit stop after this. So he's going to take another set of super stop. Yes. So he is confirmed. Yeah, he is confirmed to do a 3-stop now. So Ton needs to stay out for a few more laps, and then he can start thinking about going to the end on a set of softs.
Very close there on the pit entry by Luke McGuire. Now Valeriano has some clean air again and try to perhaps close the gap to Tom van Egmond. No, I don't think so. I don't think Valeriano will be able to. How are his lap times?
Not quite as good as Tom's, but they're still in the hunt for this. I mean, they're only 3.5 seconds.
Yep.
Depending on their pit stops, there could be undercuts, overcuts, etc. They're not out of this, Valeriano and Van der Neat. And even Victor Ivanov, if Maguire has some issues.
He's got Jeffrey Fournier in front of him, so...
Yeah, Jeffrey Fournier not doing too badly, up in 5th position at this moment. I think Maguire, he could possibly make a late move here into the final chicane. That is going to be very tight, but he's just got an overlap. Will he make it? No, Jeffrey takes to the pit lane. So Jeffrey might be doing a 3-stop as well if he's pitting this early. To see what lap, what tyres he takes even. Yeah, Luke Maguire's now got some free air, about 10 seconds to Victor Ivanov. This is what he needs to do. He needs to use it, gain that lap time back, and try and make up a pit stop on track.
Schmid and David Rodger aren't that far from each other, or actually they're battling each other.
Yeah, Fournier took the ultra soft tyres, FYI, so he'll probably be back in for another set of them in probably 15 laps time or so. Have a look. So Valeriano, yeah, actually the lap times the last few laps have been very similar between Valeriano and Tom van Egmond. Let's have a look this lap. Mid 15 from Ton. What have we got from Valeriano? Oh, a high 14. So yeah, Valeriano gained a lot of time on that last lap. Starting to push with these tyres. They pit. When did they pit? Valeriano pit lap 15. Ton pit lap 10. So there's 5 laps fresher tyres for Valeriano. This could be very beneficial for him regarding what tyres they pit, because there's 23 laps to go. Ton hasn't pit yet, and Valeriano was 5 laps fresher, so Valeriano could potentially go to ultra softs or super softs at the end when Ton might be stretching a set of super softs. So this could work out very well for Valeriano if he can keep that 5 lap advantage for Ton.
I think that was Shatsu Pantelis. Yeah, Shatsu Pantelis spun around. Let's see if I can...
oh wow! I think that's going to be Shatsu Pantelis out of the race. He hit the bridge. So he spun at the exit of turn 7. I'm sure you're grabbing a replay now. He spun at the exit of turn 7, and then follow him on further down the straight. He hits... and then hits some of the Armco, and that is him out of the race with suspension damage.
He took his time turning around. Now, what did he do? Still on the replay. Oh, he did hit the Armco. I think he, if I'm correct, something like that happened last year as well on one of the categories.
Yeah, I think it was Valeriano in WC last year. There's a bit of Armco slightly sticking out, and if you just nick it, there can be some damage sometimes, and that is exactly what George has hit, unfortunately. So that is him out of the race on lap 29.
Unfortunate for him. He wasn't doing too bad, but
Valeriano is now, sorry, Valeriano is now 2 seconds behind Tom. He's caught 2 seconds in the last sort of 4 or 5 laps. Definitely pushing his tyres right now.
Harris Parvis is starting to close in on Cheyenne Nayam. I think Harris is on fresh tires, yes he is.
Lucas Schmidt going for an overtake on his teammate David Mrojcek, but not quite making it into turn 1. They are very close. They've been battling for a few laps, both of them on the ultra soft tyres. Yeah, unfortunately, Schmidt had to start from the back of the grid with a penalty, despite him probably having the pace to be in that sort of podium battle right now. I think there are definitely no team orders in the ACR camp. Good to see.
Now Harris on the ultra soft tire versus Cheyenne Nayan on the soft tire even. And Cheyenne I think is on pretty old soft tires, so Harris should be able to get past fairly easily.
Cheyenne pit back at the end of lap 12, so he's been going for a fairly long time.
There's a tire on the track there, probably still from...
yeah, I think that's probably from Chelsea Fantas. I think it might just be graphical though. I'm not sure that it will cause damage, but hopefully no one hits it nevertheless.
Now Parves on Cheyenne, around the outside. Yep, nice move there by Harris, and he will focus his sights on Peter Schultz next, trying to get into the top 10, top 15, get points. So it's not that he's trying to fight for a points-paying position, but still top 10 is always something nice to have. Now Valeriano is pretty close now. Oh, Tom into the pit lane. Yep. Tom into the pit lane.
Must be taking...
Super softs.
Oh, wow. Okay, 20 laps on the super softs. I mean, it's doable.
18,
but
yeah. I guess.
He's going to be losing a bit of time. Oh, yeah, I guess, yeah, with the... because he hadn't crossed the start line yet. So 34 laps completed, so that's 19 laps to go. So it's doable, but he's going to be pushing those tyres quite hard at the end, in terms of keeping them alive. So Valeriano, he had a 5-lap deficit, so if he stays out for 5 laps, he could probably take the ultra softs and push them to the end. These are quite important laps for Tom. However, he doesn't want to burn his tyres because he does have to take them a fairly long way. So does Valeriano follow or does he stay out? I assume he's going to be staying out. Yes, he does. So Luke Maguire is 3 seconds ahead of Ton van Egmond, but Ton's going to the end. Yep. Well, Danny Van Den Eek pits as well. So Luke Maguire needs to make up probably about 17 seconds for a pit stop, so he still needs to make up that 15 seconds on Ton van Egmond. Danny Van Den Eek's missed his pit box. He has missed his pit box. He went too deep, he had to reverse, and he has gone on to the super soft tyres. But he would have lost probably 3 seconds from that, maybe a bit more. So Jeff Fournier might make him, overtake him even out of the pit lane. No, Danny just gets in front of Jeff. So that's P8 for Danny. for Danny. So Valeriano, so he needs to stay out about 3-4 more laps, and then I think he's going to be looking good to battle Tom for the win. Tom just needs to not make any mistakes and make sure he is still in the lead when when Valeriano makes the stop. Because Danny is probably not a factor now that he made that mistake, and Victor's a bit far behind, so need to see what Valeriano can do.
Backmarker getting out of the way nicely there. Kevin Morville doing well. Even though he's in last position, he's still fighting to stay in the race and make it to the end of the race. For some people, making it to the end of the race is already an achievement. And let's hope he will be able to achieve that.
Yeah, so the Ton actually wasn't much faster than Valeriano last lap. About, I think it's 0.3. So hopefully he's going at a set pace to not destroy his tyres like we thought he did in that in that middle stint on soft tyres. Luke Maguire is now catching up to Victor Ivanov. So when did Luke pit? He pit on lap 27, so he's going probably lap 40. So he's still got a few more laps left on his tyres. He's going to need to make this overtake work on Victor Ivanov.
And also Schmidt on
Oh, Valeriano pits. Right. So the tyres that he chooses now are quite important. If he chooses the super softs, he's not going to have much of an advantage, which he has. Okay. Oh,
Maguire.
On, Victor Ivanov, yeah, gets passed down into turn 1. So Luke is now back in the lead of the race, but he has a pit stop to make. When they get to a second time, we'll see the gaps and work out roughly where he's going to come out. But yeah, that is Luke. He's going to be going for a few more laps. So looking at the net battle for the lead, Ton van Egmond is provisionally leading from Valeriano, who is about 3 seconds or so behind. Valeriano's got, 3-lap newer tyres, so this is going to be a straight fight to the end between these two drivers, but Valeriano obviously needs to catch and then pass.
Yep.
Peter Schultz in P12 is in the pit lane, another set of Ultrasofts, as we expected.
A little battle going on, by the way. Danny van der Niet versus Ciappini versus Jeffrey Fournier. Three-way fight. Ciappini is on the soft tyre, Fournier is on the ultra soft, so this should be not too difficult for the Ormila GP driver. However, Ciappini will be having DRS from Danny van der Niet in front of him. Or will he? I don't think he realizes it, doesn't open it, and manages to defend though from the Ormila GP driver. Jeffrey will be trying once again though. He's a bit too far to try it into turn 1. Now the DRS was open for Ciappini, so I guess he did realize.
And Victor Ivanov made a pit stop also on the ultra soft tyres like Peter Schulze, but he has come out behind this battle when Van der Niet, who he was battling on track before the pit stops, is ahead. So unfortunately Victor might struggle to get through this battle.
On Rodger. And he got passed in front of the hairpin. Or did he? Yeah, he did. Now Rodger is gonna have a move on him down the the back straight, sorry. Then he will have DRS. It's gonna be enough though to defend. It's gonna be if he breaks late. Manages to take the Rodger hits the wall of champions. Manages to keep the car going, but loses his opportunity to make the move.
Yeah, it seemed Rodger lifted off out of turn 9. Not sure what that was about. But yeah, he just sort of lifted off in 6th gear, let Van der Niet through. It's a bit weird.
Looking at the replay right here. Rodger indeed just lifted and let Danny van der Niet pass. Perhaps something that happened before that. I'm not sure. Or he just decided I want DRS, but that didn't work because he went through just after the DRS activation or detection zone. Sorry. So I don't know. Weird one.
We got we had Lucas Schmidt and Chiappini in the pit lane on that previous time by, and obviously they will be going to the end from now. But Schmidt is looking down the inside of his teammate Pedro Gomez into the chicane. Yes, he makes it move. He's going to have DRS as well, so I assume that is job done for him. Mojek in the pit lane now. I assume everyone pitting out will be taking the ultra soft tyres. And look what he takes. Quite slow into the pit box. Yep, seems to stay on the ultra soft tyres. So, oh, Luke Maguire, he is in the wall. Exit turn 5, now coming around turn 6. Yes, and Ton. Let's have a look on the replay. I think, yes, he just lost the rear end coming out of turn 5. Ton and, yes, then Valeriano both come through. So that has really ruined Luke's strategy because he's going to have to make another pit stop when Valeriano and Ton don't. So, yeah, we might be looking at P6-7 for Luke because he's probably going to have to pit this lap because those those flat spots will be awful. These tyres flat spot relatively easily, especially if you just spin like that. Oh yeah, yeah, you can see his wheel moving with the force feedback. But he manages to slow down in time, so yeah. So Van der Neat, oh, Fournier's pitting as well. Didn't he just pit? Did Fournier just pit? Didn't he?
Doesn't say that he has a penalty, so.
Oh no, it was longer ago than I thought.
Yeah, it was longer ago. This is her third stop.
Yes, but Luke Maguire is now down into 6th. Can he beat Chiappini out of the pit lane? I think he can.
Yeah.
So yes, so that's 6th place for Luke Maguire. Wow. That's a bit of a difference from battling for the lead, but unfortunately, that pit stop has cost him quite dearly. He took the super softs as well on my screen.
Yes, he did.
When he could have taken the ultras.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Lucas Schmidt ahead of him has made a pit stop. So Lucas Schmidt, starting from the back of the grid, is in P5 on pit stops from what I can see. So that is really nice from him. Obviously he did have good pace in qualifying, just unfortunately he cut, so he took a back of the grid for this race rather than being penalised in post-race checks and having a back of the grid for the next race. That's something drivers can do if they know they cut. They can opt to take it now.
So, David Mrocek closing in on Jeffrey Fournier. Fournier just pitted though, so Mrocek probably won't be able to get past. Perhaps he will though, if his pace is good enough. Lucas Schmidt just set the fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 12.828. Nice lap time from him. And in the front, the pace between Tom van Egmond and Giordano Valeriano has been roughly the same. The gap is 2.6 seconds at the moment, 2.8, roughly around that region. With 10 laps to go, it's looking good for Tom van Egmond.
I'm just looking a bit further down the field, and Robin Panzard down in 15th place after being on the front row in qualifying. That has not been a good race for him, considering Lucas Schmidt, his teammate, up in P5. He also started from the back. I think Panzar's damaged, so maybe he got caught up in that opening lap scuffle, actually, so maybe that was a bit unfair of me to say. But yeah, not the race he would have wanted, having qualified so high up. He had a... Actually, no, he had a 10th place penalty, that was it, from the last race. So he started mid-pack.
Yep.
But he's in a points-paying position. So I'm sure he's going to stay out for that, considering he will be in somewhat of a championship fight this year. Last laps, Valeriano did a 14 flat. Ton van Egmond did a 14 flat. So they are very closely matched on pace. I would assume Ton is trying still, trying to keep the gap, but Valeriano isn't exactly trying to.
No, their pace have been
to put it. You know, he's not. What I mean is he's not over pushing to try and get the gap. Devin Rochek again looking at Jeff Fournier. Going to be a bit far back to look into the final chicane. Almost runs at the back of him still though. Taps the wall on the exit. Wow, yeah, he sort of. I think he lifted off the brakes a bit early. Realised Jeff was still braking himself, so had to get back on the brakes. Missed the apex, but all is well for David. So last lap, Valeriano got into the 13s, so gained a little bit of time. Valeriano's probably just taking his time. I mean, there's still 9 laps left. All he needs is one chance to overtake. Probably just biding his time with the tyres, so that he doesn't cook them. I'm going to grab up the championship standings and have a look with what is happening right now. So Valeriano is leading from 7 points to Lucas Schmidt. So at this moment he will be extending his championship lead. Danny Van Der Neet in 3rd is down in 6th place in the championship. So he's going to get some nice points if he can stay there. And yeah, Viktor Ivanov not having the best time. He's down in 18th, or joint 17th place in the championship, only with 6 points. So this is a good race from him, looking at the form he's had this season. And Ton van Egmond, let's have a look where he is. He is joint 11th in the championship, only 13 points to his name in 3 races. And now he's looking at a race win, if he can hold this out from Valeriano. So this has been a very nice race from Ton so far. Showing a very cool, calm head. Only a couple of small mistakes earlier on when Luke Maguire was being a factor for him. Yeah, Valeriano is now starting to close the gap a little bit. 1 minute 13 is the last 3 laps. Ton just got into the 13, but still only 10th here, 10th there. But this is looking like it's going to be I think maybe even a first podium for Ton in Formula SimRacing. He did the Pro Championship last year with Flag Orange as well, and now he's stepped up to Ace this year, showing some improvement from last year, because he didn't have the best of seasons last year, but worked hard over the winter to get himself here. And now he's got the championship leader bearing down his neck with about 7 laps to go.
Yep, it's going to be 6.
So I just noticed Haris Parvez is P4 in the championship. I didn't realise he was that high up. He has done very well on alternate strategies in a couple of the races. He's down in P12, a pro champion from last year, moving to Musto and stepping up to the Ace Championship this year. So yeah, not the best race today, but he's still in 4th place in this championship. Is Valeriano saving fuel?
I don't know, it could be.
He was doing some quite short shifts. Yeah.
I don't know.
He's
perhaps
barely
he
getting into the blue lights on the steering wheel. So maybe... Oh, Ton sliding right around the hairpin.
Watch out.
Luckily keeping it in a straight line, just about. Yeah, lost some time there, did Ton. So this reminds me, you won this race here in Ace last year, didn't you?
I did.
For Flag Orange as well, so maybe Ton can repeat that. And I remember you did a good middle stint and Callas was trying to chase you down, if I remember, but you had the win sorted, so very similar. But hopefully Ton can keep it in check, because there's 5 laps to go still.
Just on the replay, Ton catching that slide into the hairpin nicely. Lost a little bit of time, 1.3 seconds between them now. But he's doing a good job, and it seems like some sort of tradition is forming. Flag Orange drivers must win in Canada in the ACE Championship. No pressure for the driver that's going to be in that position next year. Anyway, still has got 4 laps to go. 5 laps to go,
Yeah.
for 4 laps after this one.
Yeah,
So,
I'm sure Ton is starting to feel a tiny bit of pressure now as well.
yeah.
Having not really been in this position before. I mean, he's been quite high up in Winter Series. He did well in some of the pre-season races. He did very well. And I think he was well inside the top 10. I think it was last time out. Oh no, 2 times before in Bahrain. So he definitely knows what it's like to be at the front, but not in a race-winning position. And Valeriano is certainly
He's breathing down.
very
1.1
close.
seconds now. 1.1
Yeah.
seconds in between him. At the moment, Chapini is closing in on Luke McGuire. Luke has got to watch out on his super soft, whilst Chapini has got the ultra soft tire. So perhaps not the best choice, but we'll have to see how that turns out. Ton is feeling the pressure, and he has got to defend for about 3.5 more laps.
Yeah, so Ton just needs to keep Valeriano outside of that DRS zone. Let's see if he got it this time. It's going to be close. No, he didn't. So yeah, if Ton can keep him out of the DRS zone, that will be very beneficial. Because once you get DRS, you just gain that extra couple of tenths a lap. They're coming up to 3 laps to go. Just over 12 kilometers left of this race. Can Ton van Egmond hold out? Oh, yes, Ton has spun. Ton has spun. Just I was saying, can he hold out? He has lost that P1, and that is a shame for him. That is a shame for him.
What happened there to Ton van Egmond? Let's take a look at the replay there. I have no idea what happened there. On board with Ton van Egmond. Coming into turn 1. Did he just hit the curb? Did he brake too late? Ah, double downshift. Double downshift from 3rd to 1st. What a moment to have the double downshift. 2 laps to go. And have a double downshift into turn 1, which causes you to spin and lose 1.5 seconds to the lead. I would be smashing my computer out of the window.
Yeah, you are one for a rage, Felix. That is true.
Anyway, Tom is going to be really disappointed. Going to be furious. He's going to be fighting hard to try and gain the position back, but I don't think so. I don't think he's going to be able to unless he pulls magic money out of a hat. 2 laps to go.
Yeah, that's a shame for him. He's still definitely in with this shout, and as I said, I think Valeriano might have been fuel saving. I don't know if he still is. No, he seems to be shifting at similar, normal points now. Yeah, Ton is, I think, struggling a little bit with the rear tyres now after a couple of spins.
Well, he's pushing though.
He's definitely pushing, but from my driving, I noticed once the rears start going, if you slide them once, then the thermal, the temps just go up so high, and it's very difficult. You start sliding all these hairpins. But he's certainly trying. 1.1 seconds. He has not given this up. I wonder if he's using some fuel, if he saved that because he was in the lead.
Perhaps. Gonna have to wait and see. No DRS this time around, I think.
It is coming up to last lap time as well. Yeah, no DRS as you say. Valeriano has already won, is it 2 races this year? In Melbourne and Bahrain, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
So, yes, he already knows what it's like to win races this season. In fact, he started the season in the Sabema team, and he's now moved to Musto. Even though they are basically sister teams anyway, he's now driving for a different livery. Yeah, Tom.
Now 1.3. Seems that he is losing the pace. Not able to get close once again to Giordano Valeriano. Giordano is not gonna give up the chance he has been given. Only one more sector remaining. Basically 2 corners, 3 if you count the chicane as 2 corners left for Giordano Valeriano.
Yeah, so Giordano Valeriano has actually done a very good race. He was staying very calm behind Luke and Ton in the first couple of stints, just sort of doing his own thing, and now the opportunity has arisen and he has taken it, and he is now in the lead of the race, and coming out of the final corner, Giordano Valeriano is going to win the Canadian Grand Prix for the ACE Championship in 2018, followed by Ton van Egmond. Unfortunately for him, couldn't hold out for that win. Van der Neet and Ivanov getting 3 and 4 for Netrex, so that's a nice drive for the Netrex boys. Then we are followed by Lucas Schmidt, who started from the back of the grid. Very good job from him. Luke Maguire, unfortunately, with not quite the best strategy call, and didn't really work out with his spin as well in P6, and Chiappini Forni on his return to FSR in P8. Davor Mocek coming around the last corner in P9. Pedro Gomez in P10. Peter Schultz, so he's pretty happy with that, weaving down the straight, having started from the pit lane. Horace Parvez in P12. Jay Najam coming around the final corner is going to get a couple of points for the flag-to-flag team. We already have the last points finisher was Robin Panzer on P15 because he was lapped, but P14 is going to be Christoph Schoer, rounding out the points for today with Roslan, Durovatsky, Brunensky and Morville also finishing, so well done to them.
Yes, indeed. And that is the end of this race. What a race we have seen once again. Action everywhere. And the lead. Ton van Egmond losing it in the last... not the last lap, but the last 2 laps. Which is...